I watched the worst rated anime series of all time. Well, almost. On my anime list, the lowest rated series of all time is called X-Arm. But you see, I'm not gonna watch that one because I don't like to read my shows. So technically, I'm watching the 21st worst rated anime because that is the lowest dubbed on the list, and saying it's the worst is a way better title. So the show I'm watching is called Conception, and it is a 4.58 on my anime list. Before we get into the show, let's just read the synopsis so we know what we're getting ourselves into. On his high school graduation day, Itsuki's cousin, Mahiru, tells him that she's pregnant. Just then, a gate of light emerges and transports the two of them into a world of Grandvania. In this land, impurities have been causing a disturbance to the stars, ultimately plunging Grandvania into chaos and disorder. And Itsuki, now revealed to be one who is fated to meet with the Star Maidens, is seen as Grandvania's last hope, and was thus given the task to produce star children and combat the impurities. Unless the task is complete, Itsuki may never be able to return home. So it's an isekai. If you connected the blatant dots, is like a 3 connected dot. If you connected all those 3 dots, then you know what's gonna go on in this show, and it is as bad as it seems. It is as bad as it seems. It doesn't really sound too amusing, which is kind of a bad sign considering this is supposed to be what makes you want to watch the show. So let's just get into it. So before we get into the interesting part of the anime, like the power system and the characters, I have to introduce you some background to the story. So here it is. The story starts with our main character, Itsuki, meeting his cousin on the roof of their school, Mahiru. She tells him she's pregnant, and then she makes a joke that it's his. I was worried at this moment. Honestly, I was scared, but thankfully it was a joke. Cause like at first it wasn't it wasn't obvious that it was a joke. And she says she has to tell Itsuki who the father is, but before she can, a portal summons above them and transfers them into another world. They spawn in these ruins and there's a blue sign on the girl's face. That sign is a constellation sign. That is indicating that she is one of the Star Maidens. Mahiru states that there wasn't a father, and then a monster comes out of her mouth. Mahiru! That monster is called an impurity. They are the main villains / monsters of this universe. Itsuki summons a sword in his hands, and he kills the impurity in one attack. Then a character named Narcissites, I don't even know, comes and grabs Itsuki and his cousin. The guy is joined by a little flying raccoon. He kinda looks like the mascot from Project Zomboid. They bring our 2 main characters to the king, and the king drops a bunch of lore on the main character. Itsuki is known as the Visitor, and his goal is to clear all 12 labyrinth floors. But the only way to do that is to have star children. Okay, that's the basics. You got like what you need to know for the rest of the story. That's what you need to know. Let's get into what makes the show so interesting, I guess you could say. So I think you probably put 2 and 2 together from the fact that the show is called Conception, and then the fact that they need star children, and also the fact that there's Star Maidens. But the point of this show is to basically have sex with each one of the Star Maidens and birth a star child. Now your first question is probably, well, is the child born after 9 months, and are they a newborn? No and no. The children are born the moment they copulate. Sometimes they are even seen watching the process, which is another issue. And the children are born at like 8 years old. So let's meet all the important characters throughout the whole show because there aren't very many. First, as you know, there's Itsuki, the main character, also known as the Visitor. His personality changes every episode depending on which woman he's trying to seduce. Next, there's Mana. She's the cute sidekick, right? No, she's a freak. She's constantly talking about sex. It doesn't matter who it's with, how it's done. She's just always talking about fornicating. Now we'll talk about the Star Maidens. Let me tell you, these girls, they really don't matter. For most of them, they get half an episode of screen time as they bond with the main character, and then they're never seen again until the final episode where they all come together. So I'm gonna go in order of most important to least important. Mahiru, his cousin, she doesn't really have a personality besides being nervous and having a crush on Itsuki. Then there's Coletta. Yes, she looks like a child. Yes, the main character still sleeps with her. Her main personality trait is that she's a baker. I guess I should state that, like, for each one of these girls, they have one or maybe two personality traits. Next thing is Riona. I'm gonna be honest, I had no idea what her name is. I just called her the doctor the entire show because, well, she's a doctor. She also has a dead brother who looked and acted just like the main character. So the fact that they did what they did is kind of weird. These three get the most of the screen time. Everyone else is completely irrelevant. But next, I think I'll go with Ari. I'm butchering all these names. It doesn't matter though. You're not gonna watch this show. She's a priest and she's in multiple episodes for a few seconds. And then when they have their intimate scene, we see that she's a freak. Because of course, get it, priest, but she's actually a freak. It's the opposite. That's why it makes sense, guys. Come on. Next is Lilith and Lily. It's like the same body with two souls. One is a shy, nice girl, and the other's a hard, tough girl. Then there's Yuzaha. I don't know what she is, but she has a disease that could kill her at any moment. So she carries a coffin around everywhere. Following her, there's Taruwa, another one that looks like a child. Her main personality trait is weird. It's just that she's a delivery girl and she likes to deliver letters. I don't know why the writer of this thought, like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Those ones I just named, they at least had half a screen time of episode. Everyone post this is so unimportant. They could have been out of the story and it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have changed a thing. I don't even know how to rate them by importance, so I'm just gonna go one by one. First, we got Ruka. Her main character trait is that she works in an orphanage. Femaruna, her main trait is that she's rich. Mary, I don't even know. Her main character trait is that she does research. Sue, she likes animals. And finally, Faroon. She works as a traveling dancer. Okay, finally we are done with the Star Maidens. Let me remind you, this series is only 12 episodes, and there are 12 girls. This equation is not a good one. They have no time to build any relationship in the whole series. Every relationship feels useless, boring, uninspired. It will take some romance anime, it will take 3 seasons for them to build a romance with one character. In this, they're doing half an episode each. At really most for most of the characters. Okay, and finally, there's one more character that is kind of important, and his name is Seiya. I'll get into him later. But finally, we can talk about the show. So let's get into it. Episode 1. I pretty much explained most of the first episode in the description of what you need to know, because it's all just lore dump. But we can cut in. Well, the doctor says Itsuki should start having children as soon as possible. And she recommends for him to do it with his cousin. So they do it.
I'm asking you now to have my child.
I don't know what I expected while watching it, but I was thinking they were gonna be like, oh no, sex in our universe? It's just like touching pinkies with each other. But no, the episode ends with them seemingly banging. Episode 2, I want you to have my child. Okay, the start of this episode, it makes no sense because it turns out they actually didn't do it, and then they drop lore. That all you need to do is get emotionally close to the maiden to have their child. Let me tell you right now, this is just wrong. Firstly, most of the girls only talk to the main character in the universe for only like 20 minutes max. And one of the times they do the ritual, the love ritual, right? One of the girls literally says she came so hard.
My legs, I don't think I can stand up yet. It feels like I came to the ends of the universe.
So clearly, they have sex sometimes, but we can discuss that later. Let's get back to episode 2. The star child is born and immediately sent to a foster home. And here we meet another character named Alfie. She runs the foster home where the kids train. This doesn't even make sense. You don't have a night captain, a professionally trained trainer. You don't have anyone to have these kids that are supposed to save your country. You don't have anyone more professional than a foster home person? That's all you got? Really? Okay, for the show, I had my only laughing moment at this moment.
You'll learn all about manners, etiquette, and foreplay. Here's a sample lesson for beginners. Don't turn off the lights in the room or the fire in the pants. And here's a phrase for emergencies. Let's come together. Say it for me!
Let's come together.
I think it's just the absurdity of him just saying it out of nowhere, and the fact that I was watching this at 2 a.m. Then Itsuki and all of the Star Maidens go and have a picnic, and here he connects with one of the Star Maiden girls, Ruka. They have barely spoken, but they go back to the same bed and do the love ritual. Another star child is born. That's pretty much the end of the episode. Episode 3, would you try having my child? Okay, so they figure out they can have a threesome and make 2 star children at once, and that's the entire point of this episode. He gets with the doctor and a girl he sexually harassed. Those are the 2 he's choosing, and before they actually do it, before he even gets into the bed with them, he prematurely ejaculates.
Crap. I'm so sorry.
The show, who wrote this? Who wrote this? But then he gets hard again, assumedly, and they go again. This time they actually have sex. There's no doubt about it.
My legs, I don't think I can stand up yet. It feels like I came to the ends of the universe.
Episode 4, Secrets in the Early Afternoon. This episode starts with 10 fanfictions made by the raccoon. So we get like 10 borderline hentai scenes between the raccoon and the main character. This episode is about Yuzaha, the girl that could die at any moment. This whole episode is just her sad story and the main character making her feel better. And then they make a star child. And that's the episode. Not much happened. This was probably the worst episode. Episode 5, I got so many kids. They just drop at the beginning of this episode that they have been fighting the labyrinth this whole time, and they are already have beaten the 3rd floor. So that's nice. I guess we aren't gonna get any fighting scenes. This time, Itsuki and the 12 girls go to the beach and they meet someone called Seiya. We see a bunch of clips of girls in swimsuits. Then they talk to Lilith and Lily for like 10 minutes. Lilith is a seer, so she looks into the future. I can't believe I wrote this down, but I gotta say it. And sees that she must let him come inside of her. So they teleport to the bed and do the deed. Next we see Seiya and another girl hiding in the bushes. And they're staring at the main character. Itsuki thinks that Seiya is stalking the girl that was stalking the main character. But let me tell you, I have a theory. He was actually watching Itsuki because he has a crush on him. Because Seiya later goes to the church and admits that he has a forbidden love. The main character talks to the priest, and after like 5 minutes, they go to bed and do the devil's tango. I'm running out of synonyms for sex. But here we learn that the priest is a freak. End scene. Episode 6, will you have my child? Bleh. Bleh. I don't really know what this means. Like, there's no really, like, none of this makes sense. Don't worry about the episode titles. The episode starts with the main character going to Coletta's bakery to help her out. We learn that the bakery is failing, and the raccoon says that one of the other rich girls can help her out. So he runs off and kidnaps the rich girl.
There was really no other option but to escape Fimiruna if you wanted to live. Anyway, what's the problem? Fimiruna is safe and sound.
They keep her kidnapped for who knows how long enough for her to go weak from not eating, as well as him have to bathe her. Let her go home, bro. Then there's Stockholm Syndrome, which is fire.
Itsuki, good night. This blonde lady ended up being an easy target after all. When a person's placed in a different situation from their norm and they spend lots of time with another person, they form strong bonds. That's what Stockholm told me anyway, but who would have thought it'd work so well? It's really just a matter of time now!
Then him and the rich girl go to the bed and make another baby. And that's the episode. Episode 7, Please Be My Chikuwa. This episode starts with him and the bakery girl.
Banana bread!
But why is it shaped like that?
What the hell? That was so out of left field.
Please be gentle with it. Go slow.
Yes, I promise.
This episode is so freaky, and it's the one that with the child, the one that looks the most like a child. Then he does it with the child. Next he meets up with Tura, I don't know her name. Another girl that looks like a child, but Itsuki helps her deliver letters. And then that, of course, leads to them doing it. End episode. Episode 8, My Child Welcome. This episode was just so weird. It wasn't even necessarily bad. I honestly think it was one of the better episodes, but it was just weird. It was set up like The Bachelor. Like, it was like a game show. And the goal for the main character is to pick one girl at the end to have a star child with. Mind you, there's only 2 girls left that he hasn't had a star child with, so I feel like they should have done this more at the beginning of the season. So it obviously comes down to the 2 girls that he has a star child with. He speaks with the first girl and he makes her some food that's so good, she finishes in her pants like it's Food Wars. Next, he goes on a date with the other girl that has yet to have a star child with him, and they get into a pool, and she starts groping him. They eat sushi again, and the Food Wars thing happens again. Then he goes to the bed with the young girl and grooms her. He says that he will spoil and take care of her, so that's literally grooming. Then the old lady joins and pops an aphrodisiac.
Mire, stop! Stay back!
Just a hypnosis gas of my own design. You'll see, now Sue won't be embarrassed and she'll be more honest about her feelings to boot.
You okay, Sue? Sue?
Making them have sex non-consensually. If this anime could not get any worse, it just did. After that, they go to the king and more lore is dropped. There's a 13th star sign, so there can be a 13th star child. Yay! But there's also a 13th dungeon floor, which means absolutely nothing to us because we have not seen him fight one single dungeon floor. And that's the end of the episode. Episode 9, Let's Try Giving Birth. We find out that the main character is bisexual. Then they talk about the 13th star sign and how it might be an animal. Then he has a deep conversation with Seiya, how Seiya is seen as this womanizer, but he feels like he's forced to act like that. And that leads to them touching, rubbing upon each other.
Relax a little bit more. Take 2, okay?
But before they kiss, the main character runs out. Show this episode to your homophobic uncle and he will learn. Then we teleport to the bed with 2 dudes. Bro is about to get double penetrated. Then they edge us.
Same, let's do it.
Here we go then! Open the forbidden door!
To behold, and not something I'll soon forget either.
I thought we were about to see some yaoi 3-way, but no, we just saw a bunch of women. Boo, boo. And that's the end of the episode. Basically, 13th Star Maiden has to be a woman, so that's why it couldn't be the 2 guys. Or it couldn't be one of the guys. Episode 10, My Children, 13 of them. The main character fights the 12th impurity and instantly kills it in 1 hit. So he cleared all the 12 floors. He just has the 13th floor left. The episode is about the foster home girl, the one I told you about at the beginning, the one that raises the foster children and helps them train. So clearly, she is the 13th maiden, which is boring because I wanted it to be a dude. The main character and the girl go on a date. We also learned that the main character's parents died in a car accident, but they go to bed and do the deed. Earlier I said that the other episode was the worst of the series. This one was by far the worst. It was the most boring. Like, I feel like they had the most time to actually build up the relationship out of any relationship in this series. They threw it away. They threw it in the trash. Episode 11. Are you going to tell me that you want me to have your child? The king summons Itsuki. Itsuki is told that the only way to beat the 13th guy is by sealing him, and the way by doing that is to sacrifice himself. So I don't know what the 13th star child is for, because he didn't need him to beat the 12th floor, and he's useless on the 13th floor. So, I don't know. We get a new lore drop that the woman he was just with was a star child before. Apparently they grow up into actual human beings, and she is 30 years old. So she groomed the main character. The main character's 17. It looks like he is about to have intercourse with the raccoon. He doesn't even need to. It's just for the love of the game.
Wait, don't look at me. It's embarrassing.
How could you be embarrassed? You're so cute. Mana, come on. Let's move that tail.
I'm so vulnerable, but I'm also really happy.
He did it. He actually did it. What? There's no way, bro. It's like when we cut open a stuffed animal and use it. That's something we all do, guys, right? And that's where the episode ends. Episode 12, Give Birth to My Child. They start fighting the 13th bad guy. Just forget about the sacrificing himself part. They use the power of friendship and non-existing romance. All the children hit a Power Rangers evolution. Turns into a mecha anime. The main character suddenly, out of nowhere, gets much stronger. Using the power of his harem, he learns Getsuga Tensho. His pink-haired old grandma woman jumps in and sacrifices herself for him. Then she dies like Spider-Man in Infinity War.
Because of you, I got to experience what it's like being in love. Thank you. Really.
They hit the power of friendship and turn into an even bigger mecha. Then he one-taps the final boss. And the children sacrifice themselves. I don't really know why.
Well done, visitor. You can leave the rest to us.
This is our duty, and we're happy to do it.
Thank you so much for making me.
They just die, I guess. And he doesn't really care anyway. The cousin says she wants to go back to Earth to see her family, to see her friends. And the main character says he's gonna go back too. I don't know why, because he has no family, no friends in the old world. In this world, he has a few baddies fawning over him, a few children too, but we gotta cut them out, cut them off. And he's a champion. He will have riches, but they are standing by the portal back to the normal world, and he says his goodbyes. Then all of the girls tackle him into the portal, and they go to the normal world. Then the pink-haired girl respawns, and so do all the children, and they all go through the portal. The reason they revived is literally just because.
Alfie? Oh my gosh, and all the star children too? How?
Who knows? Looks like we were revived somehow.
Yeah!
And the raccoon also came through the portal, and she is a girl now.
Wait, who the hell is that?
Mana, duh.
What?
And he marries every single one of them. And that's the series conception. Something I learned before making this video is that this was actually a game. So someone had to come up with this idea, tell other people about it, not be too ashamed to tell other people about it. They agree with the idea. They make it into a game. Multiple people play it. An anime studio sees it. They think it's a good idea to make it into a show. And all of that had to happen for this show to come to fruition. That is just wild to me. Let's get into why this show sucks and why it is rated the lowest out of any dubbed anime ever. Firstly, we can go into the combat. There was none. I think in the game, it's literally mainly focused on combat, just looking at the pictures on Steam. But every fight we saw was only a one-shot fight. No fight was interesting, but that doesn't even matter too much because if the other parts of the show were good, then we didn't need the combat. But we're gonna get into the next part, the romance, which is the main point of the show, and it was terrible. No girl has a chance to be important. There's no slow burn at all. Everything happens instantly. Some shows will take 3 seasons for one girl, right? It will be slow burn for 3 seasons and then they will finally get together. But this show, it's just reward, if you can call it that. There's no lead up to the reward, so the reward feels useless. None of the characters are important, so nothing feels important. Next up, we can go even deeper. I said I was gonna go to the power system at the beginning of the video, but there's really no power system. He gets a sword and he just gets stronger. He just gets stronger. So that's boring. The universe is boring. They go to like 4 places. Everything just felt useless. It was just a freaky self-insert. I think the only reason you would watch this show is for how freaky the side character animal is. I really have not shown you anything about them in this video because I just literally cannot. The stuff they say are wild, but besides that, there's just no reason to watch it. Nothing is interesting, nothing is cool, nothing is unique. There's no feeling, no depth, no real comedy. So yeah, that's Conception. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, comment. See you next time.